Hey guys, Bella here, and in this video, I want to discuss the long-term plan that I have for being on Ozempic or semaglutide, the GLP-1 medicine that allowed me to lose 40 pounds and basically get a new life, a better life, an easier life. I want to discuss the pros and cons of staying on this medication long-term, some of the science behind it, obviously the costs involved, and just kind of my thoughts going forward as I'm getting closer and closer to my goal weight. I'm actually in the 140s now, which I haven't been since I was 21, and I'm 30 now. A lot to talk about in the video, but I'm going to be transparent with you guys because I haven't heard this subject talked about a lot. I know Ozempic gets a lot of negative press about being just like this fad weight loss drug, but for me, it has not been that at all. It has been something that has completely transformed my life and made eating and dieting and exercise and just overall body composition and the way that I go through life so much easier. So I'm going to talk to you guys about that. We're going to talk about, is Ozempic a tool? Is it a crutch? Is it short-term, long-term? What do you guys think? So my background is that I've been on this medication for over 2 years. I started out with telehealth, then I went local, then my insurance company denied me, and then I went back to telehealth, and now I am getting my medication from Fridays, which is a telehealth company that basically lets you get everything that you need, your doc visit, your meds shipped to your door for $249 a month, which is the out-of-pocket cost. So if you want more info about that, links in the description, use code BELLA to get $20 off. So I began getting the medication in the mail about 6 months ago from Fridays. My weight loss has continued. I've gone from about 189 down to 148, 147. I didn't weigh myself from September to October, which is honestly kind of rare for me, but I knew I was losing steadily and I didn't want to stress about it. And so when I got back on the scale, like towards the end of October, I had actually lost 3 pounds, which is like a lot for me to lose in a month because I'm a small person. So I got to thinking about, what will I do when I reach my goal weight? Will I stay on a maintenance dose? Will I just continue this medicine for the rest of my life? And a lot of people think that this is something that you come off of and basically gain all the weight back. And while I could see that being the case for some people, if you didn't really change much of your eating habits and you weren't eating well to begin with, I don't think that would be the case for me. In terms of tracking my calories, I've been tracking calories for over 650 days now, and I think that that's a major contributing factor to my weight loss. However, without being on Ozempic, I was not losing any weight. I had counted calories for 10 years. I went to the gym religiously. The weight would not budge. I really think I had an issue with insulin resistance and also PCOS. And since I've gotten off of my birth control, I've noticed some of my hormone side effects have come back, like just crazy stuff like hair growth and irritability and just feeling overall insane when that time of month comes around, which, I mean, I had that before being on birth control, but since I've gotten off, it feels even more just like ups and downs. With my weight, it is the one thing that has steadily gone down over 2 years. And so when I thought about it, I thought, well, I mean, honestly, if I were to go off of this medication, what does that really do for me? Because I'm not going to pat myself on the back for not being on medication. That's just not something that I really value or prioritize. There's no moral thing about it for me. I feel like I was sick and I took medicine that would help me become not sick. And so to stop taking that medicine would essentially cause me to probably go back to that previous state that I was in. And so for me, I think that I'm going to continue a maintenance dose going forward when I reach my goal weight. I really don't even know what my goal weight should be. I know that my body definitely needs some recomposition. I need to be lifting weights more. In November, I'm gonna commit to like a little challenge where I do 3 minutes of weightlifting per day. I know that sounds like not very much, but if you're not doing any and then you do 3 minutes a day, you can steadily build that momentum. If any of you guys want to do it with me, you're welcome to. I can post about it on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts and we can kind of go along with it together. Just trying to make sure that I'm taking care of my muscles. One of the cons I heard about being on Ozempic long term was basically that your muscle mass lessens, which is true. If you lose weight, you're going to lose muscle as well. But for me, I haven't felt like any weaker or anything like that. And in terms of my physique, I feel like it looks better than it's looked in like probably 10 years. I feel like everything's proportioned better. My clothes are fitting better. I've gone from a size 16 to about a size 10, and it's just insane to me the progress that I've been able to make. The stigma of being on obesity medicine is that you're going to gain all the weight back after you stop taking it. So the question with Ozempic is like, do you stop taking it? And so I'm kind of like, why would I stop taking something that's helping me like live an easier life, not stress, not binge eat, not constantly think about food, not feel hungry all the time? Like, I want to stress that it was not for lack of trying that I was fat. I tried everything. Like, I literally, I read every book. I've listened to the podcast, the weight loss coaches, fasting, calorie counting, keto, every diet you can think of. Guys, I tried it. It didn't work until I got on Ozempic. And so for that reason, my main goal is to continue to be where I'm at and to continue to enjoy my life. And for that reason, I think I'm going to be on this medication for as long as I want to be on it. So if it's lifetime, it's lifetime. If it's for the next couple of years, that's fine. The benefits of it outweigh the cons, because if I were to gain weight back, I am at risk for developing diabetes, other cardiovascular issues. I could potentially lose mobility if I'm to, gain weight and not be able to move around as much. It also gives me the freedom to not do the yo-yo dieting that I did before, where I would gain 10 pounds, lose 10 pounds, gain 15, lose 10, and my weight steadily crept up over the last 5 or 6 years to where I just felt like I don't know how I got to where I was getting, but I got there. Honestly, like, trying to lose weight made me gain weight, if that makes sense. It was just like I constantly thought about food, and at the place I'm at right now, I really don't feel like food is a major focus in my life. I still enjoy going out to eat. Me and my mom went to Longhorn the other day, and we actually split a ribeye and the salad and the sweet potato. We split it like half, and we're both small peoples. And I was like, we didn't even wind up eating our full meal. So that was just an example to me of like, obviously you can still go out to eat, you can still like have fun with your friends and family, but you don't necessarily have to eat like you ate before. I think one of the bigger cons, obviously for most people, is the price. So for me, I'm paying $249 a month, which basically comes out to a little under $3,000 a year, which is a lot of money. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot of money to me. That's on top of my health insurance that I'm paying for. But the way that I look at it is, how much money did I spend on weight loss supplements, fad diets, all of the things that I had to buy associated with gaining weight, new clothes. I spent a lot of money trying to lose weight, and so $3,000 a year, if that's what it takes to keep me healthy and to keep me happy, I feel like I'm personally okay paying that amount. For me, if it's not something that is like a should I or should I not, as long as I can continue to afford it, I'm going to stay on the medication. Like, I see no dilemma. My side effects are pretty much gone at this point. Occasional nausea if I eat something that I shouldn't have eaten. And so to me, that is really all that I need to be focused on, is just continuing to maintain my weight and continuing to lose a little bit at a time for sustainable weight loss. But the money thing, I know it's not accessible to everyone, but I would encourage you to kind of look into what your insurance company provides, if there's any exceptions. And the team at Fridays works really hard to get you approved so that your medicine will be covered. And if your medicine is covered, you're only going to pay $99 a month at Fridays, and you'll pay whatever your copay is. So it could be $25. So at that point, you're only at $124 a month, which would significantly decrease the amount that you have to pay per year. I'm just a numbers person, so I like to think about it on a per year basis. The amount of food I eat in general has gone down so much. I'm sure I've saved a ton of money on food, because typically if I get something out to eat, I just cut it in half and eat the other half later. A lot of people prefer to be on a maintenance dose. Maintenance dose is basically a low dose of semaglutide, where you take it to just make sure that you're not gaining that weight back. And I think that's more psychological effects than it is physical effects. But for me, the food noise was literally the main thing that was keeping me fat. It was this constant little yapping in my mind that was like, you need to eat again, you're hungry, you're not full. It was just overwhelmingly taking over my life. I feel like a maintenance dose is something that's going to be necessary for me, and thankfully Fridays does maintenance doses. They do have some requirements about like the minimum weight you can be, because they're not going to prescribe medicine to somebody who's like underweight. But if you are just a regular weight, you can continue to get maintenance doses from Fridays. So that is something that I think is really cool about them. They understand that this is not a fad diet. The stigma of it being that is unfortunate, but I think that when anything works and anything's popular like this, especially when it's been in the media, it's going to be criticized and critiqued. I was looking at some clips on TikTok before I sat down to record this, and I just typed in like Ozempic long term, and there was just all these podcast bros being like, this is a dangerous medication. People don't know about this medicine. They don't know what this is for. Like, it was such bullshit, honestly. Like, sir, you have never been fat. You have not spent like 15 or 20 or 30 years in an obese body. You don't know what hormone fluctuations feel like. You haven't struggled with your weight for your entire life. Like, personally, I'm just not trying to listen to anyone who hasn't like at least studied obesity medicine or has come to this understanding the way that I've come to it through their own experience. And so hearing the negative perceptions of it is really just like, I just tune it out. Like, it's not even something that I worry about. I know one of the things that like people always say is like, people are overdosing on it. Like, ma'am, I'm sorry that you can't read the instructions on the needle and dose yourself effectively. That's a you problem. That doesn't have anything to do with the medicine. And so people overdosing, it is sad, but they don't know what they're doing. Like, they don't know how to read instructions. So, I mean, it clearly says like, go to this amount from the bottle. If you are doing compounded, you basically withdraw like the amount that you need from the bottle. See, this is it right here. It's just a little bit of a liquid. You sterilize it and then you draw out what you need for the week, and then you just give it to yourself as an injection. So it's really that easy. People make it more complicated than it is, but I think that's because they can't follow instructions. So that's a problem for another day to talk about, but this is my medication. Honestly, I feel like most weight loss attempts fail, or the person gains the weight back because they were doing something that wasn't sustainable, wasn't natural for them, or just, you know, they got off of a medicine, on a medicine. I know I had been on phentermine at one point. On phentermine, I had no appetite, I had a ton of energy, but I can't be on phentermine for the rest of my life. So with that, I just feel like Ozempic is a relatively safe drug that is scientifically proven to help you lose weight and sustain the weight loss over time. We know that. That's not like up for debate. Like, that's literally scientifically proven. And so in terms of being on this medicine, I'm going to continue to do what's best for me. I think that this is a tool that you can use that will greatly benefit your life. I don't think it's a crutch. I don't think anyone comes to this conclusion of, oh, I want to go on weight loss medicine, you know, just because they want to lose 15 pounds for a wedding. This is something that is a chronic problem. Obesity is a chronic, lifelong condition. I have been fat for my entire life. I remember being fat in elementary school. It was not something that was like developed later as a result of poor choices. Obviously, there's something metabolically wrong with me. It could have been the way that I was eating, but for whatever reason, when I got ready to lose weight when I was about 18 and started like counting calories, exercising, it was a completely depressing attempt for 10 years to lose weight. And it did not change until I got on this medication. And now I'm feeling so much better, so much healthier, so much more me, so much more clarity, and I feel like this has given me the freedom to live a healthier life. And so for that reason, I have no issue being on it long term. Whatever your goals are, those are your goals and your motivations for doing that. Obviously, you can talk about it with a doctor. You can weigh the pros and cons for yourself. I wanted to share this because people are always saying you're going to gain all the weight back once you get off of the medication. And so to that, I guess I will say, like, I'm not getting off the medication. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep taking it as long as I can get it. And if the day comes where you can't get compounded semaglutide anymore, guess what? Your girl is probably going to drive to Mexico. Like, I don't care. Like, this literally has changed my life for the better. I have lost so many inches, so much weight. Like, my face is completely different. Like, I have an actual, like, shape to my face now. Like, I have facial features as a result of losing so much weight. And the only negative benefit I've seen is haters. Like, honestly, just like so many haters online. But guess what? They don't pay my bills. They don't live in my house. They don't come to my family get-togethers. So I really don't care what their opinion is. I care about me and my long-term health. And so for me, Ozempic is a medicine that I plan on being on for the rest of my life, or as long as it's beneficial to me. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope that you have a great November. Remember that if you're looking to make a change, don't start January 1st. You can literally start right now. Whenever you're watching the video, just go to the link in the description below and find my link to Fridays. You can start the medicine. There is no subscription, nothing like that. You pay month to month. So if you want to cancel, you can cancel. You'll get $20 off with code Bella. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the year, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.